Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the absolute monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read the sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of absolute monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on this regard that I am providing very, very important, very, very crucial civil justice sign up for myself, and some multitasking is the wisdom. With that said, I will quickly read through the civil justice, but before that, I also want to let you know that, so we are still, if we are all on the same page on my wisdom education, we are all talking about the tax fraud. Right. So how, when a consumer is walking inside a Walmart and swiping the credit card, and right before that getting that grocery bill, what are the transactions that's going behind the scenes? I'm explaining that, right? So each and every single crime is a tax fraud crime. It's $1 trillion worth of crime, right? So okay, so then we all saw to recap or to provide that earlier sessions on a very highest level. We saw credit card tax fraud crime, right? And then debit card tax fraud crime, and then how that Europay, because of that MasterCard and Visa card, that golden rectangular chip you see in your credit card, that is they created that also as a tax fraud crime, right? And then MasterCard is a tax fraud crime. Visa card is a tax fraud crime, right? And then Bitcoin and the Coinstar, the cash in for the credit card, that's a tax fraud crime. Then gift card is a tax fraud crime, right? Then I went and explained with a further explanation what are the behind the scenes that's going on, how the software developers and the teams, they break their heads and write the logics. And I also explained what is underwriting, what is claims, and what is collections agencies, right? And then what is credit score and all this stuff.
and the billing and the payment and receivable and accounts receivable divisions. Now, when all these things are done, I already said, and then rate engine, right? The rate engine is the one which goes and calculates your premium for your insurance or loans, interest rate, right? Like that. But then, and then finally you get the billing, the bill. If you're in a Walmart, you get the retail bill for your grocery expense. If you're going to bank, you'll get that bill, how much you have in a checking account, like that. Then if you're going to the insurance, then they give you a premium. So, right, so that's also bill. Now, but then this is how the transaction gets completed successfully. And I also educated if the transaction is not getting successfully completed, how the cash counter will say, see, your credit card is not working, like that. Do you have any other way of payment, like check, like that, any other credit card, like that? So I also explained that also. But every single event, you can add, you can consider that every single, whatever I was talking, it's a transaction or an event or an incident. So these are the words that the software developers can understand. It's same like how medical people have their own terminology to understand whatever the human anatomy is, and how Department of Justice have their own verbiage, right? So it's the same thing, that's all. Nothing more or nothing less. It's the same thing. So, so they have to have all these terminologies. Okay, now, then what is this section is all about? This section is all about is without internet, this entire transactions cannot be done. Are you all with me here, this point of time? It's very important, my dear fellow mankind. You all must know how the layer by layer spider web mode of the crime created by the Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II. I am just removing it as a layer by layer means it is God giving me the wisdom to crack down on the spider web mode of a globalized network of deadliest crime. And that crime, nobody was able to crack it down because everybody's eyes got blinded, because all my peers yielded to sexual immorality. That is why in true Christianity there is never sexual immorality. So whatever that is not there in the true Christianity, this Pope Francis mandated what is not a true Christianity, and he fooled, and he went to the extent to the further, and also mandated the medical services and the atheism population to to provide a false prosecution that whatever happened in the Holy Bible is wrong. That way, the people who have yielded to the sexual immorality can still live with the sexual immorality and can live in illusion and can destroy more destruction. And when the population gets educated to the wisdom, then the nations will be happiest. He never wanted that. I already said the Egyptian king, right before the Egyptian empire collapsed only, after that collapse only became the Roman Empire. So Roman Empire, you can say Roman Empire is Islam nation as Egypt nation, right? So there are Egyptian kings. Who is Egyptian king after all? Pope Francis. But he hid every single thing, my dear fellow mankind. And I cracked it down. Oh, he cannot escape the death penalty. No, he cannot. So, okay, with that said, that's too much of that overview part of it. Now, this session is all about the internet, right? So then, as like for how when they want to have the credit services, the TransUnion and the Equifax and the the other people, the three people, the three agencies, they just stepped in and they said, okay, federal government, give us the lifetime contract. We'll take care of the credit score and the collections agency's part. And they got it. That's why they are also richest. Okay. Then the nation has to figure out a way for internet services as well. So the London-based World Wide Web organization says, okay, don't worry USA, we'll take care of it. So we will work on how to register the websites, right? You must have seen whenever in your address bar in your browsers, you must have seen HTTPS or HTTPP. Now HTTPS means it's a secured website. But HTTP means it's unsecured. So what is the meaning? That again, they want to create hell in everything. Can you understand what this crime is all about? So if it is a HTTP website, means it is unsecured website. So that means people, the USA government can hack in. They themselves can hire the cyber attack, phishing, robocalling, like that. If it is HTTPS, it still be secured, but still the USA government only has that access to that. So they can still provide the attack in that secured website also. So that is how I proved that, how it is Mitch McConnell, Brett Kavanaugh, and President Trump and Republican government, they provided the robocall poverty mandate. Okay, so it's all layer by layer I'm explaining the crime. So Pope Francis cannot escape the crime. He has to pay me $1 billion for Mitch McConnell, President Trump and Brett Kavanaugh and all these foolish people provided robocall poverty mandate to me. And I want Pope Francis signed check only. That's the reason behind it, isn't it? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. If this kind of a discipline is not provided, Pope Francis will keep on creating hell after hell, and everybody will have to chew the injustice and live. Not anymore. I want all the injustice provided to me to be stopped with me. I should be the last one with all this injustice versions stopped with me. I just want to stop. Enough, right? How many? See, I'm extra empath, so I already said I do not like other people undergoing through pain and agony. I just do not like it. Right? And I can even understand other people's agony. That will create a lot of emotional pain for me. So how much of pain Pope Francis is created for me? Do you all know? You wait and watch and see. Every single crime, I'm chopping head once, I'm chopping his head twice, like that. So that much of crime he has did. He created death penalty type of crime, and United States of America allowed the deadliest wild endangered species to live. So USA is handcuffed and at fault and found guilty. No forgiveness for United States of America. I cannot forgive United States of America. I own USA, right? So that is another different type of a blood boiling mode. Then on top of it, they stole my rightful job. Queen Elizabeth stole my rightful crown. And Brett Kavanaugh and President Trump and Mitch McConnell, they stole my rightful Supreme Court judge job on October 2018. Right? For how long you all want me to undergo this kind of injustice? Don't you all think all these must be stopped? Now, right? And President Joe Biden is providing only joking and is mocking. That is injustice, right? When being a lawyer, without fixing whatever that needs to be fixed, and he's providing a mockery and he's providing a joke, means he is providing a deadliest crime. It's beyond breach of duty, isn't it? And if you see in the patterns, nobody is the true owner of USA. All the 46 presidents are slaves of Queen and prostitutes of Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and that is why it's, if you see the track record of the patterns of abuse, all the 46 presidents are prostitutes of United States of America. And being males, they proved that they can never be caregivers. And they destroyed USA operation in pieces, right? Why? What education does USA population and USA government needs to know? Why United States of America is hating wisdom? That itself, it's a telltale sign, isn't it? That the nation is in deadliest crisis mode and I must step in and help and free the USA? Don't you all think so? Right? For how long? If I'm not going to get any this civil justice, people will keep on hurting me, my dear fellow mankind. I just do not want, I just cannot take it anymore. It's hurting. The doctors won't educate the population what is hurt, right? Because they want the population to hurt fellow mankind. That way they get $1 trillion of revenue out of their pocket. When population mocks other fellow mankind or bullies other fellow mankind, it's $1 trillion revenue for the doctors to get earnings. So they just say, mock for population, it is very healthy. They are the ones who signed it. And why? It is Pope Francis mandated them to. Why? Because all the tax monies will be given back to the belly of the Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and all the absolute monarchs. Right? Don't you think this deadliest crime must be stopped immediately? And I also must get the job immediately, right? A nation must be ruled always by a true woman. I am the true woman, my dear fellow mankind. I have all the proof. I decoded all the truth from the Holy Bible only. So there is nothing to hide here. Everything is transparent here. Crystal clear proof. Watch and see. Pope Francis himself will jump in the volcano and he will die and he will be gone in ashes. Right? And this session is all about internet means no internet, no transaction. Got it? Are you all with me here? This deadliest crime part of it. No internet, no transaction. No internet, Walmart cannot even open the cash counter. No internet, banking cannot even operate. No internet, welfare agencies or public sectors or the private sectors cannot even operate. No internet, even the civilians cannot do the pay or use their mobile phones or anything, right? Everything becomes standstill without internet. So let's say today is in this moment, if at all, as a civil doctor, for all the tax fraud crime provided by World Wide Web Organization and Federal Communication Commission is the Supreme Court judges for telecom, and Verizon, AT&T, and US Cellular, Sprint, T-Mobile, etc., and then NASA satellite. If I ask for civil justice to seal and shut down all these organizations, imagine 1 second is enough for USA to go down, to be shattered in pieces, right? Walmart will freak out, will go mad. The Walmart CEO will go mad and die, right? Because loss of business without internet. All these people are businessmen, right? Every single second counts because that is how, though I don't have real how that stocks and bonds works, but on highest level I displayed that there's a tax fraud crime as well. So that means why they are so much, why they'll get that heart attack and die, all these retails or any businesses means every single second the stocks and the bonds keep on working. You all must have seen the New York Stock Exchange. So can you all see, if you're seeing in the sessions, in the video sessions, a screenshot, always I'm having only those 2 stock exchanges. That's all is for civil justice. I don't even want to go and pick and choose any other stock exchanges because every stock exchange comes under that umbrella. Even New York Stock Exchanges come under that umbrella only. So that's a separate tax fraud crime. I already explained it, right? So how the tax fraud itself is created. So that is what the 2 stock exchanges displays. So one screenshot, if the people are going to see that screenshot, is enough to nail down on the Italy Borsa Stock Exchange, the deadliest, venomous, poisonous, prostitute stock exchange. And I already displayed the proof, right? It has one deadliest vulgarism statue right in front of that stock exchange. Means what? It was created. All this tax fraud is all created to destroy only holy marriage law, my dear fellow mankind. Nobody knew. Because we population thought that it's all created for basic essentials, right? The internet comes as a basic essentials, right? No internet, no household, no internet. They made every people to be dependent on the internet, right? But there was era where people were living without internet. I already said, go to the memory lane and think about that, how good it was, isn't it? How family bonding, how everything. But did World Wide Web, this internet, did it destroy the family bonding time? Did it destroy the family peace? Did it create divorce worldwide? Did it create the love breakups for the mankind? Yes or no? Did it create family feuds, family fights, family arguments? How many worldwide, how many population, when they want to talk with the population, like let's say if you're in a household, if the parents want to talk to the children, parents will be working in their smartphones or laptops, and the children will be working on their smartphones and laptops. And then the night time comes and everybody goes to the sleep, and then the next day comes and again the same thing. People work and so that means the family time, the family bonding time, it's all taken away, right? Stripped away, which is very essential, which is essential for healthy well-being, isn't it? People in the household needs to have that hug, have that kissing, have that talk, have that laughter. Must watch, must play happy board games as a family together, right? How it was like this before the internet era, before internet came into the world. How was the people living that era? Go around to that memory lane, right? Today, younger generation never even knew about that. Why? It is because this World Wide Web came in and provided all this kind of distraction. How? When? When we all pay deadliest sales tax for internet, state tax for internet, and federal tax for internet. It is after we pay the tax only, this World Wide Web, the internet, the media, they all throw acids on each and every single civilians, right? Can you all see the injustice right in your front of your eyes, right under the nose of the population only? Pope Francis created this kind of a hell. And World Wide Web organization is created in the London, and London is one Islam, paganism, communism nation. USA never knows that. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this is the deadliest crime, right? And how many population without any awareness? Population do not have any clue, right? Once when they are given internet access, once when there is a website, how much of filth they are adding to the population's brains worldwide. And population on the other side, as if this injustice is not enough, they themselves provide a lot more of abuse of use of this internet services, right? They think that internet services is they don't even know it's a public services, how to use it in a very healthy way. People don't know. Then there again, doctors, they never educated that, because there again they wanted the population to misuse the internet services, right? How many civilians tear each other, other fellow mankind, egos, or mock, or bully, or sexting, blackmailing, nudity, right? And tearing the people in pieces, abusing this internet usage. Worldwide it's happening. Not even one man, not even one educated man, not even one educated woman stood up and slapped on the face of United States of America. I am the only one true woman in whole entire human kingdom. I stood up, I slapped on the face of United States of America. I said, stop this kind of injustice with this abusive internet services, right? They threw acid on me. You all got it right. Without internet, how on the earth I would have got that robocall at the first place? Right? So that is why the internet must pay me $5,000 tax-free, right? Check and must direct deposit on my bank account, right? This crime must be stopped immediately, my dear friend. I already said, when the robocall poverty mandate is fixed, everything will be fixed, right? That is why I'm very much, providing the crime non-stop. It's a lot of labor. God is giving me the strength to do that. And this President Joe Biden, I don't even want to talk about him, right? For how long this government scandal will be going on in USA? Every 4 years, people have to be thrashed, right? The population are trashed in United States of America every 4 years. This is not how the government should operate at the first place. In true Christianity alone, government is a very holiest operations. And they even destroyed that, right? How many people mock at politicians? They say the people back off from politics because of the dangerous process it provides. It's a filth, right? But that's not how it should be. Government is the holiest public service of operations. Pope Francis, he destroyed that. He even polluted the government operations enough to be mocked by the population. Oh, population should never mock government, never. But that's not the case, isn't it? Each nation, population mocks at the government. They curse the government. Sadly, the population could not understand what exactly went wrong. And I stepped up and educating. It is the Pope Francis who destroyed every single operation. He never left out anything. He never left out even abusing the animals, abusing even plants, right? The genetic modified foods. He destroyed agriculture. He destroyed export imports. He destroyed fair trade processing. Everything. You name anything, 360 degrees destroyed. He destroyed emotions. He destroyed feelings of humans worldwide. Because everybody got married to the wrong humans, right? Which injustice is healthiest for you all? You all tell me. Doctors and wellness program, they say there's wellness program, there's a fitness program, right? Why they never bother to say that whatever distraction provided by Pope Francis is the deadliest crime? Why? Because they all are getting the fundings only from Pope Francis. And USA government never knows that. The Republican government and the Democrat government never knows that. Right? They're all slaves only to Queen Elizabeth II. So this is a live proof how the population got sold to the Queen Elizabeth II. Without internet, can people be at home? No, right? To log into their workplace, they need internet. To do the banking transaction, population need internet. For education system, the children have to get educated, they need internet. Right? For the civilians to talk to the family members who are separated long distance or short distance or wherever, they need internet to talk. Is Pope Francis a human or not? I want you all to work on that answer. I know the true answer. I never asked for Pope crap. I never asked for any of these absolute monarchs prostitutes. I never asked for fake Israel leader Netanyahu. He will be thrown in the volcano for whatever crime he provided. I will display what crime he provided. That is why anti-Judaism is silent. They fear me only. And that's all is for the answer for you all at this point of time. And I tore the fake Israel flag. That's all is needed for you all to get the correct answer. Who am I? He cannot even ask for mercy. He lost for asking for mercy. If Netanyahu is going to ask for mercy or forgiveness, I will ask Netanyahu to pay another $500,000 trillion direct deposit to my bank account for asking me to provide mercy. He lost the eligibility. That says it all. Who am I? My blood is boiling, as if all this injustice is not enough. This is how the foolish will behave. And they will not even have any kind of regret or what they call the remorse or whatever. Right? How cool, how happy is this Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks are living, isn't it? This is a telltale sign of a mental disordered patients. They will hurt the fellow mankind and they will live as if nothing happened. They will talk sweetest talk, right? So this internet part, so no internet, so you all got it. The transaction is just only one part. But then behind the scenes there needs to be an internet. Without internet, you're not going to get that billing in your hand from the cash counter. The cash counter itself will not work, right? The cash counter will say, there is some internet issues here, so we are not able to access the cash counter. Please be patient. This is the healthiest avoidable solution they can provide at that point of time, right? Okay, they can wait for 5 minutes, they can wait for 10 minutes, right? Then that comes that impatient part of it. People cannot wait, right? So because they might have other family things or other, they have to take care of that immediately after grocery. They might have planned in their mind, they have to go to bank or gasoline or wherever, but it's getting delayed means it's going to create more impatience for the customers. Then that creates what? Okay, some customers can handle it. Some customers can wait patiently. Some customers cannot. That's a display of how each and every single human brain processing varies, right? Nobody can define this is how the brain process should wait, right? Nobody can even define that, hey, this internet issue is provided, so all the brains in the standing in the queue must function only same time. No, right? Some people might even get extreme anger. They can even slam their hands on the cash counter and say, why on the earth the internet is not working? What, blah, 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 like that. Not be even aware the cash counter employee is just an employee to the Walmart. It is out of his control, her control, right? So then that needs that little bit of the consideration there. So it happens the other way around also. The cash counter people can even be aggressive, can even be rude, can even be mean, like that. It happens either way. Worldwide it's happening. People are dealing with that type of injustice as well. But this session is all about how the internet, without internet, how things happen, how things go weird, right? So there are two vendors in the United States of America. They stepped in and they said to the United States of America, don't worry, we will provide all the internet services like lifetime contract. These are all the lifetime contract, meaning they make the population be dependent on one of each and every single basic essential mode. Can you see? So that is why I cannot even seal and shut down all these organizations which needs to be sealed and shut down, because they all provided deadliest tax fraud crime. They all have collections agencies. They all have late fees. They all have due date. They all have whatnot of the crime. Everything is a crime, right? VP population never knew about any of this scandal. Without knowing anything, population cursing the government, that is wrong. Population should never curse government. So on one side, government became polluted, right? Sexual immorality. Politics is a filth, right? Whoever in the government operations right now are prostitutes, right? I proved it, right? Be it Senate or GOP, they do not have any kind of a human sentiments in their hearts. They are a deadliest, wild, venomous population, right? They are the filth. That is why I have to step in. I have to start lead the nation. That is a deadliest crisis now. Right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. Do you all know who are the two vendors for that internet service providers? It is Comcast, and the other one is a Spectrum. Charter Spectrum. Got it? I will got it now. Okay, so they pick and choose which regions they want to provide, and they are providing. So whenever the population have to sign for an internet, they have to reach out to any of these two providers only. They made population to be dependent on them. It's a basic essential, but for that we have to be independent on them. We pay sales tax, federal tax and state tax. After paying all this, it's just like that we cannot get internet. We have to invest to get a computer, to get a laptop, to get a iPad, to get a smartphone, to get a smart TV. All $1,000, right? For each and every single, and then Echo, then Alexa, those are all extra, right? And then Google Home, like that. And then there's a watch also, right? iWatch, whatnot. Then Google came up with Google Glasses. So if you're going to invest on all these, at least minimum $3,000 to $5,000, you have to provide it as a capital investment for each household to have to use the internet. Okay, you're paying some dollars and getting internet, but if you're not having your laptop or computer or TV or smartphone or iWatch, it's waste. So for that $3,000, it should be the government who should provide, because these are all becoming a basic essentials here, right? Okay, we all are paying tax for each and every single item, right? At least what the World Wide Web should have done. You all tell me. And Cisco is the one of the vendor who provides the entire transaction of how the internet should be provided, right? So tell me how all these people are working behind the scenes to get internet. I said it all starts with cabling of the roadways, isn't it? It all starts right there. Without cabling, no internet, right? Without healthy roadways, there's no internet. And then the initial, it is only 2G, 3G, 4G. We just stepped into the 5G. And that too, it is only after my education they came up with the 5G. 5G is nothing but you get the fastest internet, that's all. How many, like India and South America and African nations, they have very slow internet. That's the deadliest crime going on here. Please understand the crime severity. Pope Francis will be thrown in ashes, my dear fellow mankind. When United States of America have fastest 5G network, India, Tamil Nadu, and South America, Africa, they have 2G or 3G, very slow internet. Even they also pay tax. When everybody is paying tax, these kind of crime should not be provided, isn't it? As if this is not enough, and top of it, they add more filth. The software products they are providing, the messengers or whatnot, the websites or whatever. The World Wide Web only registers all the pornography websites in their database. Cisco provides web traffic for pornography websites. Web traffic. Apple, Google, and Microsoft create software products to allow the pornography to be available in the internet websites. Allows in their browsers for the consumers to type in for the pornography websites. Nobody educated anything. Everybody kept quiet, right? I am the first human, to stood up, and I stepped up. I already educated. I slapped on the face of software world. The first time Microsoft got the slap, the fire slap. Microsoft never knew it was going to get the slap from Vethapriya. Google got the fire slap. Apple got the fire slap. They're still working on the task. I don't know how far in their completion of the task. They fear me only. I provided all the design solutions of the browsers, my dear fellow mankind. I said, when a civilian wants to type in a pornography on the address bar of the browser must either shut down or browser must either display a message box, sorry, you cannot. Means it is preventing a civilian to get into a mousetrap, right? Upfront. It's a prevention better than cure mode, right? I provided all the solutions already. I handcuffed Intel too. I slapped on the Intel. You designed the processor this way, that whenever the people are getting into the address bar, they should not be even able to type that. Then I educated World Wide Web, remove, destroy, burn all the pornography websites in your database. Clean your database right now. They fear me. And I went and educated Cisco. Destroy that web traffic process that you're allocating exclusive for the pornography or prostitution. Just destroy it in ashes. So I know who will do the task. I know their talent, isn't it? I pick and choose. Oh, this people will do this task. I know who to give the task and how to get the things done. They're all working on the task. So without internet, you cannot even swipe the card. Why? If you're going to swipe the card, the cash counter systems is going to say, there is an internet issue, sorry, nothing can be done, and the counter will ask you all to wait. So this also you should know because it is your birthright, right? So population became angry because they never knew what this scandal, all this are going all about, right? So once when they know, let's say if you all are going to the Walmart and next time if they're going to say there's an issue with that internet, you all will know that's a crime. It's all created by Pope Francis, right? And this Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks mandated all the retails, everything to be shut down and made all the aisles in the grocery to be emptied. It's all a scam. It's $1 trillion scam to fool the population, to create that much of fear. I already said how many people must have spent extra for their monthly budget because of this crime alone, in the grocery expense alone, and how many middle class family living paycheck to paycheck must have been hit hard. Bernie Sanders was there. He never bothered because he do not have to worry about his grocery bills, right? But President Joe Biden was there, President Trump was there. They don't have to worry because they don't have to worry about these grocery bills, right? Are they humans? Is who is that? That Dr. Fauci brings humans. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, you decide. This session went 40 minutes because you all should know it is your birthright, isn't it? Because you're paying sales tax, you're paying state tax and federal tax to get the basic essential internet, which should be free for you all, right? It should be free to the population. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, it is your birthright. And you all got it. Why? Everybody threw acid, including the Spectrum and Comcast, right? They were all thinking they are all prostituting with Queen Elizabeth to Pope Francis. They cannot do, nobody can stand up and ask them any questions, right? They can do what kind of a crap to the population. Nobody will ask. And I stood up for everybody, whoever cannot talk. Whoever is digesting very hard with the injustice, right? It is very hard to digest injustice, right? It's the same universal way of emotional hurt only for every civilians worldwide, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of nationality, regardless of religion, regardless of gender. Injustice nobody can tolerate. but he mandated that, Pope Francis. Do you all know that? You should know, right? Why I'm chopping the head of Pope Francis. Count one means for each and every single crime count, I have to chop the head of Pope Francis. That is how the civil justice operates. Do you all know that? Do you all even know how civil justice operates? This is how it operates. This is how it should be provided. Because Pope Francis lost eligibility to apologize to the population. He's super filth here. He is the one who created pornography. Pope Francis created pornography. He cannot escape the death penalty, mighty friend of mankind. He cannot. It is Pope Francis created the sexting. Sexting means I educated people, name-calling genital organs of fellow mankind in a filth. Pope Francis created that. How many families destroyed because of the sexting, because of the flirting, because of the free sex, because of the premarital sex, because of the extramarital sex, because of the pornography, because of the nightclub, because of the strip clubs, because of the adverse sex industry, because of the Las Vegas, because of the casinos, because of the racing, horse racing, car racing, then bullfighting, rooster fighting, then all the national football stadiums built after the gladiator sport Colosseum, Roman Colosseum stadium. How much of destruction will he keep on providing? And why nobody never stood up and asked? Or do you all like all this filth? Then why? What for? What do you all gain out of it? And all these, if you're going to see, it is all at the cost of crucifying innocent fellow mankind only. All these operations are provided, right? You name it, be it sexting, be it flirting, having free sex, having premarital sex, having extramarital sex, having pornography, prostitution facility, nightclubs, strip clubs. It's all only after crucifying innocent fellow mankind, isn't it? Yeah, it all comes under the entertainment, arts and music, Hollywood movies, Disney movies, James Bond movies. Everything is became a pornography. This is how the foolish people will do, to destroy anything for a fellow mankind. Right. Then it became a fashion statement to own all these electronic goods. Then it becomes a discrimination mode. See, I have all these electronic goods. You don't even have all these? Oh no. I have only Apple products, No matter what, we'll have only Apple products. Oh, you're having the cheapest one? That's no. Oh, okay. So that means that creates that prejudice and the prejudgmental, right? So then that relates to how on the family gatherings, how on the reunions, how on the happy hour provided, or in the gatherings in the workplace, how people react based out of that economic differences among the people, right? If you have dollars, people will talk nicely. If you are employed and have a housing and a pet animal or a family and children, they'll talk nicely. If the people are, pauper mode, beggar mode, orphan mode, unemployment mode, diseased mode, cancer patient mode, physically challenged mode, people will talk differently. Prejudiced mode, right? Stereotyping mode. Oh, these people are like this only. Oh, you're divorced. Oh, no. They'll not say we cannot invite you for the family gatherings. They will just, the way they invite and how they treat in the family gatherings and the reunions, it's enough how much of torture these people have to undergo through. right? They will gossip. They will cook up their own stories, right? Because it is never it's never about them. It's never about them. It's always about the other people who are in the dependent mode. So it's easiest for them to mock and bully and cook up stories and create lot of gossip stories out of that and laugh out loudest, right? And always, if you see, it is always the women who provides that kind of a prostitution worldwide. So that means in family gatherings, family reunions, always the women who provides all this kind of a prostitution. Men provides, but the percentage is very few. 1% male provides a gossip and all these things. 99% women. Right. And now you all got it. Why always I'm not fitting on the crowd? For me, whenever there is a family reunion or a family gathering, for me, I like to live the life to the fullest, isn't it? Like cooking the food and serving the food in love and playing the games, the group playing games, like Pictionary, like that, to have that fun part. This is how I like it. But whenever I go to the family gathering, all these things will be happening, I already said. And I'll always be quiet. For me, it will be a more discomfort mode. Why even I came to this gathering mode, right? I'll be not fitting in the crowd. Can you see why I'm always my brain operates different from the women brain operations, and how my own people, my own family members could not even understand me. They were all thinking I am like any other 99 percentile of the women, but no, right? My brain operates different even with my own family members, and there is a lot of conflict of interest, and I still talk with them, right? That's called tolerance mode, God-given strength mode. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, without internet, it's a very basic essential. It should be provided free. So, okay, it should be provided free, but then they made it for population to pay for it. We are paying that many tax, right? At least they should have provided cleanest internet services. They never bothered to provide that. That is crime. That comes under the war crime. So that means Microsoft provided war crime. Apple, Google, they all provided more war crime. Facebook provided war crime. I'm helpless mode here because a crime is a crime, right? That is why they're all panic mode. Either they have to redesign their browsers all over again one more time, then they will go crazy. Or they have to figure out a way to fix it, because it all comes under the war crime. When a civilian is buying a Microsoft laptop, he or she is paying $1,000 to $2,000, let's say. And the civilian is going to the address bar to type the website for a pornography website. That Microsoft laptop should not be allowing them to do that. I provided one healthy task. Go. You all pick and choose. Let's see which of you all can come up with a healthy browser. Is it Microsoft? Is it Apple Chrome? Or is it Apple Safari? I provided that a task. They are all breaking their heads and working on that right now. Do you all know that? You are aware of it? And I provided enough time, because I know the labor is needed for the software developers to code and design, right? I also provided Intel. I also provided the task to Intel as well. So they're all working together. The task is being worked on. It's still in the baby step, long way to go, because that particular design they have to work on, and they have to work on the logic. How to integrate the Intel to create the design, and then once when coming it's the motherboard to the laptop, how the Microsoft and Apple and Google can provide that solution. They're still working on it, and it is doable. And I provided all the design solutions, complex design solutions, and they should pay me the salary for that after all. Yes, this session is all about the internet tax fraud crime that is created by Pope Francis. Internet is what? Basic essentials. Okay. It's almost close to 1 hour. I will quickly read through this. I, Vethapriya PROSE, proved the deadliest crime and displayed to all nations and entire human kingdom. I, Vethapriya PROSE, is excellent layman, true civil doctor that can provide fastest open bypass surgery for eyes, heart, brain for 7.9 plus billions of humans same time, and broke world record for providing divine healing faster than any robo. And why robos worldwide fears me only, for I am that I am born to save the world, for I displayed deadliest war crime, classification of finance debt, foreclosure and rental eviction collection agency, national patients account services scandal, and FICO Holocaust Nazism crime, and then internet tax fraud crime to USA government. I cannot see how everything is related. Without internet, they cannot even send to collections agencies. Without internet, they cannot send to the credit score agency. Without internet, they cannot do the claims processing. Without internet, they cannot do underwriting processes. Without underwriting, they cannot do anything. Any of the transactions cannot be done. Nothing. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want for civil justice, as in Pope Francis must resign now, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Vatican leader now. All male genders in nations only created poverty, finance debt, foreclosure, and rental eviction collections impasse agency tax fraud, and consumer finance protection bureau tax fraud, and then consumer rights tax fraud, and then internet tax fraud, right? Then for males, they want to have that sex addiction pleasure. So they mandated pornography, prostitution, nightclubs, strip clubs, whatnot for a filth. They made Las Vegas, casinos, they made that as a legalized law. So who did that? It is Pope Francis. He's a male, isn't it? So I'm proving here that males are never caregivers. They are the filth here. Right. So I, Vethapriya PROSE, proved males can never be caregivers. Okay. How about the female then? Now, this display is that why even men, even the evil men, fear evil women worldwide, because the destructions provided by evil women is highest level. And is there a proof? Yeah. And Queen Elizabeth II is a female gender, only created poverty, finance debt, foreclosures, and rental eviction, and FICO score scandal, and collections agencies tax fraud, and National Patients Account Services Agency tax fraud, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau tax fraud of poverty mandate, then PASS is also called as the Patients Account Services tax fraud, then internet tax fraud, then that when you're getting into the internet tax fraud, that comes what comes under that umbrella? Prostitution tax fraud created by Queen Elizabeth II, pornography tax fraud created by Queen Elizabeth II. She's a female only. She's a mom, she's a grandmom, she's a great-grandmom. She only created prostitution. She only, Queen Elizabeth II, the Satan, the evil personification, created Las Vegas to tear down the human cells of humans and drink the blood out of tax. It is Queen Elizabeth II created casinos, lottery, racing, horse racing, cars racing, tax fraud crime. It is Queen Elizabeth II created sexting, tax fraud crime. It is Queen Elizabeth II created pornography, tax fraud crime. It is Queen Elizabeth II created James Bond movies and all the Hollywood Disney movies, pornography classification, tax fraud, crime. You name any movies for that matter. Any movies in Hollywood is a pornography classification, right? That doctors, they thought that they can classify it as a violent movie, and viewers discrimination is advised because it is going to be a spoiler. This movie is going to create lot of emotional disturbances. Why even people need that when they're going to pay $25 at least for a ticket, and then $25 for eating the popcorn, and then paying sales tax and the federal tax and state tax for popcorn, and sales tax and federal tax and state tax for the movie ticket, and sales tax and federal tax and whatnot tax for the home theater. The theater provides the facility, provides the seating and everything, right? And if it's an IMAX or whatever that highest technology movies means, then that's a separate ticketing for that. All to watch all this crap. And Dr. Brinks signed, it's all healthiest. It comes under the violent movies. Why even people have to bother to see that movies? This is what the doctors will say and move on. Versus, I am the true civil doctor, right? That is why entire movie theaters all shut down right now, because they all must go to the jail, right? They all must go to the jail right now. Who are they to destroy human brain nerve cells? So who created that? It's Queen Elizabeth II. It is Queen Elizabeth II. So nobody knew that, right? Because she talks sweetest. Go listen to all the Christmas messages and see how sweetest can Queen Elizabeth be. Go listen to all the Christmas sermons provided by Pope Francis. Go and see how sweetest Pope Francis can be. Honey will be bitterest, isn't it? This is the telltale sign of the prostitutes. This is how they will behave. Then that's the reason why the abusive people can live free as if nothing can happen. The telltale signs, the live examples, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis. As if they never did anything, as if they don't know slavery, as if they don't know hatred, as if they don't know discrimination, as if Queen Elizabeth never provided 2,000 plus years of African slavery. She will talk sweetest. This is the telltale sign of how the prostitutes will behave. They can move on easily. It's always the victims of abuse, the innocent population, the wisest people, right? They become helpless and they're sufferers. So who created pornography at the first place? It is Queen Elizabeth II, the female. It is who created sexting, tax fraud. It is Queen Elizabeth II, right? It is Queen Elizabeth II. Who created quiz words in the Oxford Dictionary curriculum? Queen Elizabeth II, a female, a woman. How evil can she be, right? She was born to earth to destroy humanity, my dear fellow mankind. How many men came and went in their leadership? Be it kings or leaders, prime ministers, presidents. Why nobody stood up in front of her and took her down, threw her in the volcano. Men are strongest genders, that's what they tell worldwide, right? Why? Why her husband never killed her? It might seem so rude, isn't it? Why all the people in the Buckingham Palace who was feeding the food to the Queen Elizabeth II never provided poison in the food and killed her? Why? How? Do you all know why? How? She has her own British army, and that army will die to protect her. So that means even the husband cannot even kill Queen Elizabeth II. He's a dummy piece. Do you all know? He's a dummy piece and sex machine for Queen Elizabeth II. That's all. This is a prostitute. This is how the prostitutes will destroy, tear down people, right? She never married out of clean love. She never married true love, right? So I'm displaying the era crime of Pope Francis as well. He's a prostitute. He got caught red-handed. He's going to say he never loved a woman, or he should say he loved a woman. Either ways, we all want the case, isn't it? So two types of errors here, two types of crime, deadliest crime. The difference between the total male population and difference between the Pope Francis is the correct answer. If you're going to get the correct answer, that correct answer is the root cause of why Pope Francis is the hell creator. Then for the why Queen Elizabeth II is evil means you all got the answer right now. She never married a true love, right? She yielded to sexual immorality. The people yielded to sexual immorality. This is how they will destroy. It is clearly written in the Holy Bible. How a true woman is heaven. How a sexual yielded woman is evil. Break the bones, kind of evil. It is clearly written in the Holy Bible. So Queen Elizabeth should say whether she knows what is Holy Bible, or she should say never knows Holy Bible, and that is the truth. All these Islam, they are Islam Judaism, right? They mock only true Christianity. They don't know anything about the Holy Bible, no. So why woman becomes evil means the moment women yields to sexual immorality, they become double evil. Got it? That's a puzzle behind it. On bottom line, the baseline of innocence, always men are innocent forever. Always women are double innocent forever. And that is how the civil justice must be signed. But not for this lady. I will just ask her to be fried in ashes and gone. People can even live with the lions or the wild endangered species, but not with this. She's wild endangered species. Disqualified to live in earth, right? So either Pope Francis should say whether he knows that Las Vegas creates divorce or not. Because he's the one who says divorce is sin, isn't it? That'll be super fun. Then Pope Francis should say whether he knows pornography or the sexting tax fraud, the belly dancing tax fraud, the nightclub tax fraud, the night strip clubs tax fraud, the adverse sex industry tax fraud, all creates divorce, all creates sources of divorce. Or he should say he don't know about that. Or either Pope Francis should say all the abusive friends, the backstabbers, are creators of divorce worldwide or not. It'll be super fun, isn't it? Because they are all coming under the classification code of God of USA. Yes. I proved what? Queen Elizabeth II is evil. So why, you all got it, why people fear the evil women means this is what it's for. This is a live example. She'll kill any people who come out on her way. Hitler became a scapegoat. Saddam Hussein became a scapegoat. All the Russian 4 men, they became a scapegoat. The Stalin, Engels, Karl Marx, they all became scapegoat. They never knew. When they got into that organization, they were all thinking, whatever, each of them, they were having their own organization. They were thinking they are going to help the population. That's how they got fooled. It is United Arab Emirates leaders prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II, murdered Saddam Hussein. That is why today they all have the death penalty written on their spinal cord. By I am that I am. They cannot escape. Whoever killed Saddam Hussein will be going to the volcano in Hawaii. Iran leader, Syria leader, they all will be going to the Balkan only. France leader, right? They all thought they all can get away free with this kind of a crime. President George W. Bush Jr. will be allowed to live free to watch all this true criminals being fried in ashes, and he get to live free to live for a testimony of true God. He also got that curse, right? And I will provide justice. He will have to pay tax. He is impeachable president after all. I can ask now for civil justice, please impeach and remove the president title from President George W. Bush Jr. right now, right? But that's not how the civil justice operates. He will be allowed to live free, to live as a testimony of true God. But he have to live with that pain and die with that pain forever for killed an innocent man, Saddam Hussein. Nobody can help. Not in any of his family members cannot help him. He has to die with that stress and die with that stress. This is how everybody becomes helpless mode. I don't know, even in his coffin, he should be only, in coffin means what? God created that time. When he takes shelter in the coffin, he must be only asking forgiveness from the God. Everybody became helpless mode. Right. So how all this crime was provided? Internet. Internet in different forms and variations, avatars, right? Because of this fighting for the foolishness, how much of gasoline leaked inside the oceans? I already said. Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean. That's a Morse code for that. Because Pope Francis, Queen Elizabeth II is going to puke more dollars for the crime created, right? One side, Africans were thrown in those oceans. The other side, with this Gulf War, gasoline leak was mandated in the oceans, and sea animals got destroyed. What not of a destruction they left out. They never left out anything in a destruction, right? This Queen Elizabeth II. This is why all nations, they fear to have a woman rule the nation. Because when the people gets burnt once, they don't want to get burnt again. It's a human operation, healthy, normal operation. So they will say this fear is created to each and every single Europeans. So that means Americans as well. Their brains are all that deadliest fear mode only. Because they all go to the memory lane, right? The memories all get destroyed. The emotions destroyed. They all ran they all know how they ran from Ireland, how they ran from Scotland, how they ran from Germany, right? Poland, and to USA. So they do not want that kind of a thing anymore. Sadly, the population of USA never got to know the true, how a true king is, how a true queen is, how a true woman is, how a true man is. The saddest reality is population of USA never have that wisdom. I educated that already. Right? So this session is all about internet. Okay. So now the question for you all. So I'll read that one more time. So you all got it, why educated population never able to display this kind of a crime is because all the educated population They are all yielded to sexual immorality. They got their eyes blinded forever. So, Vethapriya PROSE proved males can never be caregivers, and Queen Elizabeth II only created poverty, finance debt, foreclosures and rental eviction and FICO score scandal and collections agency scandal, NPAS means National Patients Agency scandal, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau tax fraud crime of poverty mandate. It is created only to create poverty, and patients account services, and then internet tax fraud crime. So Vethapriya PROSE proved there are never women for total women population in earth. There are never women for total women population in earth is evil prostitutes worldwide. Men are slaughtered, right? Whoever in the married status, they are all slaughtered because they are all living with the prostitutes. Even males are also prostitutes, but the women being the prostitute is one step higher. So the men have to chew it in the injustice in silence. Women have to chew the injustice in silence. And COVID-19, they cannot even go on divorce. So this is the reality. Nobody can mock nobody, right? Men cannot mock women, women cannot mock men. They are all slaughtered. In all the scandal, it is the men, innocent men got slaughtered. Nobody provided that education. I only provided that education. First time. So Vethapriya PROSE, true womb of a man, a woman should be Vatican leader now is civil justice served as in Holy Bible guidelines. So Pope Francis, he failed in every single job, right? So why would everybody bother to him to be a Vatican leader anymore? Just have him resign immediately. And I proved that I am the true womb of a man and a woman. So that means I should be the Vatican leader and a true owner of Italy. I am the true owner of Vatican. I'm true owner of London, right? So the question for you all, who created internet tax fraud? Easiest, isn't it? Easiest question. So you all should get only the correct answer, no wrong answer here. Who created internet tax fraud? The World Wide Web internet tax fraud. Is it God of true Christianity? If yes, why? If no, why? Vethapriya PROSE proved the deadliest crime, and Pope Francis failed in God's job, must resign immediately, and Vethapriya PROSE must become the Vatican leader now, and Supreme Civil Judge for all nations now, and Supreme Family Law and Children Judge for all nations now. And Vethapriya PROSE must be the Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations now. And Vethapriya PROSE must become the interim leader now. And because of this, internet tax fraud is a deadliest crime, comes under the war crime classification code of homicide and manslaughter. President Joe Biden provided that internet tax fraud crime, being a lawyer, and President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris must resign immediately, according to the Holy Book Bible guidelines of civil law. Then the first quarter of fiscal year 2021, January 2021, February 2021, March 2021, at fault, found guilty, deadliest crime is at fault, found guilty, Republican government and Democrat government of and absolute monarchs, Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis created internet fraud, tax fraud crime worldwide. Antichrist, Pope Francis created internet tax fraud that impacts loan tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud. Can you all get it? Without internet, banking cannot provide loans. Without internet, banking cannot issue a credit card. Without internet, banking cannot give you a debit card. Without internet, banking cannot provide gift card. This all comes in the tax fraud, deadliest tax fraud crime. It's proved by Vethapriya PROSE. Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II created internet tax fraud for loan tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. So these banking sectors can provide free loans for the internet facility for Comcast or Charter Spectrum that comes under the entertainment world of AT&T, Time Warner Brothers, all the TV news channels, everything for they're providing the filth of sex industry, the Las Vegas industry, the nightclub, the strip clubs, but then they reject all these basic essentials for the innocent civilians like homeless and refuge and unemployed or disabled or the cancer patient. They reject it. That's a crime in a crime, isn't it? They provided loans already to the Las Vegas. So Associated Bank must be in the jail. They provided loans already to the pornography websites. They must be in the jail. They already provide loans for all the nightclubs facility, strip clubs facility, alcohol facility, tobacco facility in state of Tennessee and whatnot. So Associated Bank must be in the jail. And they rejected all these loans and credits and debits and gift cards to the homeless and refugees and unemployed and poverty people, low income people, whenever people need short-term loans, cancer patients, they all rejected that. So that comes under the war crime. So even Spectrum have their own telephone services. So they must be, Spectrum, Comcast must be in the jail right now. Right. Nobody can escape the crime they all created. For whatever crime they created, they must get civil justice. And I am the only one who can provide civil justice. I get to decide what civil justice each abusive people provided to the population. According to that, I will provide civil justice my way. And it will be according to the guidelines of Holy Bible. So nobody have to worry about that. There's nothing hide and seek here. No, it's very transparent, crystal clear. This is how a true civil justice will be provided in front of all nations, in front of entire human kingdom. Right? For Vethapriya PROSE proved scandal of absolute monarchs and proved Pope Francis Roman Empire King Herod as of February 2021. Any salary, as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective, immediate, using direct deposit to my bank account to I am Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide, can help me. So scandal faces of Republica, Europe nations worldwide, Republica at fault found guilty, prostitutes of Europe, USA tax fraud, March 2021 is proved. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, internet tax fraud, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit tax fraud, gift card tax fraud crime, provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Democrat government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Queen Elizabeth II provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Pope Francis provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, UP Mitch McConnell provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, President Trump 2016 to 2020, President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024, and state governors of 50 states of USA provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. And you all see, please open your God-given eyes and see why President Trump is innocent and why President Joe Biden is not innocent. He provided the deadliest internet tax fraud crime, being a lawyer. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Roman Province Justice Organization of State of Wisconsin, State of Michigan, State of Illinois, State of New York, State of New England, State of Maryland, State of Louisiana, State of Missouri, State of California, State of Oregon is a live proof why it is Pope Francis created the tax fraud. Provided tax fraud of internet tax fraud crime is proved by I. Vethapriya, PROSE, Queen Elizabeth II, note, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and Consumer Finance Protection Bureau and the internet tax fraud and the loans tax fraud, credit card tax fraud, debit card tax fraud, account services tax fraud, you name any of the business transactions provided by public sector tax fraud and private sector tax fraud. They all created robocall poverty mandate, enforced poverty disability to I. Vethapriya, PROSE on October 2018 is proved for prostitute Republican government of USA to steal the rightful Supreme Court judge job of USA on October 2018. The rightful belongs to Vethapriya, PROSE. Civil law must be provided now without delay. I, Vethapriya, PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, own the text for ongoing civil justice sign-off, at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, use a Republican government and use a Democrat government as in Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, internet tax fraud, loans tax fraud, credit tax fraud, debit card tax fraud, created robocall poverty to I. Vethapriya, PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, and Republican government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced poverty mandate to I. Vethapriya, PROSE abruptly on October 2018, and Republican government of United States of America took away $4,500 in October 2018 and enforced finance debt of $10,000+ since October 2018, October 2019, October 2020, and as of January 2021, February 2021, March 2021, to I. Vethapriya, PROSE, enforced finance disabled to I. Vethapriya, PROSE abruptly it is crime for at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, use a Republican government and Democrat government and Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis and Internet Consumer Finance Protection Bureau agency tax fraud, then internet tax fraud, robocall poverty mandate is proved, and so civil justices I. Vethapriya, PROSE want Citibank CEO to pay off my debt $10,000+ and sign off tax-free $5,000, and at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and internet tax fraud, loans, credits, debits, gift card tax fraud crime, created robocall poverty mandate with fatal negligence, so must sign off tax-free $1,500,000 trillion to be direct deposited in my bank account for all types of damages done by selfish cunning, Islam, Judaism, monarchs types, wild endangered species, and hell creators, and at fault and found guilty, Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA will provide needful help accordingly to be in the same page. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this session went long, 1 hour and 24 minutes. But you all should know, right? It is a civilian's birthright to get free internet after all. It's a basic essential. But I've displayed how much of crime. It's all the crime, the internet tax fraud crime comes under the Holocaust, Nazism, war crime. I know the federal government hates the word Nazism. They will throw the Nazis in the fire, right? Now, what are they on the earth they are going to do about with Comcast and Spectrum Chartered, which comes under the AT&T Time Warners, that classification umbrella? And they are the one who threw acid on my face. And they are Nazis, right? What is USA going to do now? I am absolutely positive President Joe Biden going to announce his resignation any moment, right? He created internet tax fraud. He cannot be president of USA. He should get out of the White House now. Thank you all for your time. And yes, my dear fellow mankind, just be aware, civil justice wins always, all the time. Why? God is always in control, right? When all this national crisis is going globally, COVID-19 scam one side, all this scandal other side, can you all see why God's name alone is glorified always, all the time? And God's labor known to God only. Nobody knows, right? That is enough proof that why God is God always, why evil is evil always. And these foolish people, they can get away free and they can live free. This is a telltale sign. People are breaking heads, right? How on the earth people can hurt fellow mankind and they can live free, right? Abusive people will live free. They will have all the luxury. They will be having all the, the so-called society created, that highest economic status, employed, family, owning home, car, whatnot for the luxury. But people will say, how these people are able to live this kind of a luxury after creating hell? So then the people will be pushed to the edge. Oh, okay, pushed to the edge means for the innocent victim of abuse also will be pushed to the edge. Oh, okay, if we, the innocent people, also live like them, then can we live like that? That's how they'll push the people to the edge. And it's all traces to the Pope Francis. It's a Pope Francis who's creating all this chaos and the hell for everybody. I chopped the head of Pope Francis. Nobody will dare to ask me why. I will say, according to the Holy Bible only, I provided civil justice. So either population, nations, government should say, oh, Holy Bible is crap. Then I will say, just throw that on the volcano and pay me $500,000 trillion. Either ways, the USA have to pay me $500,000 trillion. Thank you all for your time. And please don't forget to celebrate Merry Christmas loudest. Okay? Just celebrate it loudest. Sing the Merry Christmas caroling loudest. Let the Pope Francis ears create smoke. Let him get fried in ashes when you are going to sing Merry Christmas carols and you are all going to celebrate Merry Christmas, a true love, festival of true love. Just celebrate it. Let him die out of heart attack. Let Queen Elizabeth be fried in ashes. Right? This is what civil justice is all about. It's healthiest. This is how the criminal justice will be burnt in ashes. If it is healthiest, the criminal justice must never provided any internet tax fraud. They provided it. So that is a proof that criminal justice is a scam. So that means the Department of Justice of State of Wisconsin signed injustice is scam. So I'm going to ask another medical bill for the state of Wisconsin to pay. Right? I never asked for criminal law. Did you all ask for criminal law? If USA provided criminal law, it is their responsibility and accountability to provide healthier services. They never provided healthier services. So criminal law, criminal judges, criminal lawyers, all handcuffed and mandated to kneel down in front of human kingdom. And I get civil justice my way, according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.